Good morning everyone. I am Garima from BSc Chemistry Honors second year. Today we are going to start Organic Chemistry chapter 1, that is UV visible spectroscopy. Introduction. One of the important fields of activities of an organic chemist is the determination of structural formula of various substances. In the earlier days, the structural elucidation was mainly based upon the study of classical physical properties and chemical reactions of the compound. The procedure involved was rather laborious and time consuming. However, in the last 50 years or so, some markable physical methods have been developed to serve as powerful tools for structural analysis. Of these, the most useful and commonly employed methods are the spectroscopic methods, which are based upon the interaction of electromagnetic radiation with the substance under examination. These methods may further involve the study of UV, infrared, NMR. Mass spectroscopy is employed to determine the molecular mass and molecular formula of the substance, while UV and IR are used to determine the nature of functional groups. Finally, the NMR spectroscopy is used to know the complete structure, including the stereochemistry of the substance. The electromagnetic spectrum and electroscopic studies. Electromagnetic radiation. Many spectroscopic technologies are based upon the interaction of a compound with light or some other forms of electromagnetic radiation. It is known well that light and other electromagnetic radiation are different forms of energies which have a dual nature. They have the properties of both a wave and particle. They are called electromagnetic radiation because they consist of oscillating electric and magnetic field which are perpendicular to each other and perpendicular to the direction of motion of radiation. Some important characteristics of these radiations are: the energy of these radiations is inversely proportional to the wavelength and directly proportional to their frequencies. These radiations do not require any physical medium and can be transmitted through empty space. For example, light reaches us from the sun through empty space. All these types of electromagnetic radiation travel through space with the same velocity, which is nearly 3 into 10 raised to power 8 meter per second. Electromagnetic spectrum. Visible light, which can be detected by human eye, constitutes only a very small part of electromagnetic radiation. The full range of these radiation is indeed very large, and their wavelength varies from a very small fraction of a meter to many kilometers. The arrangement of entire range of electromagnetic radiation is increasing order of their frequencies or decreasing order of their frequencies is known as electromagnetic spectrum. The complete electromagnetic spectrum, along with common names used to identify different ranges of wavelength, is shown in figure 4.1. This is 4.1 figure, which shows the approximate ranges of wavelength and frequencies of electromagnetic radiation. Principle of absorption spectroscopy. It is interesting to note that practically all the important spectroscopic methods used for structural analysis belong the field of absorption spectroscopy, which study the absorption of electromagnetic in relation to molecular structure. When a beam of electromagnetic radiation is passed through a substance, the radiation may be either absorbed or transmitted depending upon the wavelength of the radiation and molecular structure of the substance. Absorption of radiation would naturally bring about an increase in energy of molecule, the energy gained being directly proportional to the frequency or inversely proportional to the wavelength of radiation. The increase in energy of a molecule may lead to electronic excitation, whereby electrons are raised to higher energy level. Alternatively, it may about an increase only in the vibration or rotational energy of molecule. Electronic excitation can be caused by only high energy radiation such as UV visible and visible radiations. On the other hand, vibrational and rotational energy level can be raised either by relatively low energy infrared radiation. A very important condition for a molecule to absorb electromagnetic radiation is that energy of a proton of radiation may be equal to the energy difference between two vibrational and rotational electromagnetic energy states of the molecule. In other words, the particular wavelength of radiation that a given molecule can absorb is directed by changing in vibrational or rotational or electronic states that are permitted to a molecule of that structure. The absorption of radiation is absorbed instrumentally by passage of radiation through a sample of substance and automagnetic analysis of the intensity of transmitted radiation. A record of the above amount of radiation absorbed or transmitted by a given sample as a fraction of wavelength of radiation is called absorption spectrometer. One might expect an absorption spectrum to consist of a series of lines, but actually the spectrum made up of absorption bands with peak of maximum intensity. The instrument used for recording a spectrum is known as spectrophotometer or spectrometer. Having discussed the principle of spectroscopy, we proceed further to discuss ultraviolet spectroscopy in some details. Ultraviolet spectroscopy. Ultraviolet spectroscopy involves the measurement of absorption of light in the visible and ultraviolet regions by the substances under investigation. Since the absorption of light involves the transmission from one electronic energy level to another within a molecule, UV spectroscopy is also known as electronic spectroscopy. It will be quite appropriate at that stage to study the laws which govern the absorption of light. The absorption laws. There are two laws which express respectively the relation between absorption of light by the substance and its molar concentration and the length of subpath through which the light passes. These are: first, Beer's law. According to this law, when a beam of monochromatic light is passed through a substance disposed in a non-absorbing solvent, the absorption of light is directly proportional to the molar concentration of the absorbing substance. Second is Lambert's law. This law states that when a beam of monochromatic light is passed through a substance, the absorption of light is directly proportional to the path length of the substance. Third is Beer-Lambert law. The two laws stated above can be combined to get a general absorption law termed as Beer-Lambert law. It may be stated as the absorption of light by a substance at a particular wavelength is proportional to the number of molecules of substance in the path of light. Mathematically, log I naught by I is directly proportional to C, which is Beer's law. Log I naught by I is directly related to L, that is Lambert law. If we combine both of them, then log I naught by I will directly proportional to C into L. On adding a constant, we get log I naught I will equal to E C L, where E is read as epsilon, where I naught is intensity of incident light, I intensity of transmitted light, C is concentration of the absorbing substance in mole per liter, L is the path length or thickness in centimeter of the cell consisting the sample. E is, that is epsilon, is proportionality constant known as molar absorption The expression L log L I naught by I is termed as optical density or absorbance A. It is a measure of absorption of radiation by a sample. Therefore, Beer-Lambert law may also be expressed mathematically as A is equal to log I naught by I will equal to ECL. Now, limitations of Beer-Lambert law. Beer-Lambert law is strictly obeyed when dealing with the UV spectrum of single species. However, if a sample consists different structure forms of molecule in equilibrium with each other, such as in the case of keto-enol tautomers, the law is only obeyed. It is also not applicable if the solute sample and solvent interact with each other to form complexes. Next topic is mechanics of recording the UV spectrum, presentation of the spectrum. Excellent UV visible spectrophotometer are now available which can conveniently record the spectrum over a range 200 to 800 nanometer. Since oxygen of the atmosphere strongly absorbs light at about 200 nanometer and below, the use of wavelength shorter than 200 nanometer is not practicable unless special vacuum techniques are employed. The ultraviolet spectrum are always recorded on a wavelength scale in millimeter or nanometers. Procedure for recording the ultraviolet spectrum: the given component is generally dissolved in some suitable solvents which do not itself absorb light in a region under examination. The commonly employed solvent are 95% ethanol, hexane and water. The solution of the component is placed in a suitable transparent container which do not absorb light in a region being studied. Generally, a quartz cell of 1 centimeter path length is used for this purpose. At the same some solvent is taken separately in another quartz cell which serve as a reference cell. The sample solution and the solvent are then exposed to ultraviolet and visible radiation in the spectrophotometer, in which a hydrogen discharge lamp is usually employed as a source of light. The ultraviolet region, while a tungsten filament lamp is used for the visible region of the radiation. The spectrometer operates by comparing the amount of light in a beam transmitted through a sample with the reference beam which passes through the reference cell. This compensates for the absorption of light by the cell and the solvent. In this way, the spectrometer measures the amount of light absorbed by the component at each wavelength of the ultraviolet and visible region. The absorption gets recorded on the chart part of as a plot of wavelength of the entire region versus the absorbance of light of each wavelength. The spectrum obtained consists of a small number of broad peaks, quite often only one peak in seen. UV spectrometer. A specified diagram of UV visible spectrometer is shown in figure 4.2. It consists of many parts. This is the figure 4.2 showing UV spectrometer. Presentation of the spectrum. The ultraviolet spectrum of 1,3-butadiene in hexane is shown in figure 4.3. It may be seen that absorption of ultraviolet radiation by 1,3-butadiene being at wavelength below 200 nanometer and consist upon about 260 nanometer. The absorption is minimum at 217 nanometer. This is the figure which shows the ultraviolet absorption spectrum of 1,3-butadiene. The spectrum is recorded as a single absorption peak using the notation lambda max is equal to 217 nanometer. In reporting the UV spectrum for analytical purpose, the molar absorptivity E at the wavelength of maximum absorption is also quoted along with maximum wavelength. For example, the molar absorptivity of 1,3-butadiene at lambda max is equal to 217 is 20,900. Therefore, the UV spectrum is represented as 1,3-butadiene lambda max is equal to 217 nanometer. Since the UV spectra generally shows broad peaks and valleys, the actual spectra are rarely used. The spectra information is given by listing the values of lambda max along with the molar absorptivity for each value of lambda max. Principle of UV spectroscopy. Absorption of visible and ultraviolet light reduces changes in the electronic states of molecule associated with the excitation of electron from a lower to higher energy level, but it may be noted that each electronic level in a molecule associated with a number of vibration sublevels, and each vibration level in turn is associated with a number vibrational sublevel. Therefore, in its transmission of a higher energy level, an electron can go from any of the co-levels corresponding to various vibrational and rotational states in the ground state to any of the sublevels in excited state. Appearance of broad bands and not sharp in the spectrum. If the electronic excitation of the molecule has observed without any comparing changes in vibrational and rotational sublevels, the spectrum would have consisted of sharp lines, with each line representing a range in electronic state. But due to the mixing of, here we have figure 4.4, which shows the electronic excitation from ground state to excited state accompanied by change in vibrational and rotational sublevels. A brief account of various types of electronic transition is as follows. First, sigma to sigma star transition. Transition in which a sigma bonding electron is excited to an anti-bonding sigma star orbital are known as sigma to sigma star transition. These transitions can be shown only by compounds such as saturated hydrocarbons, in which all valence shell electrons are involved in the formation of sigma bond. For example, in methane, the absorption of energy for such a transition occurs at only 125 nanometer. Since these wavelengths are lesser than 200 nanometer and falls in the vacuum UV region, the usual spectroscopic techniques cannot be used in case of such a transition. N to sigma star transition. These are electronic excitation from a non-bonding atomic orbital to an anti-bonding sigma star orbital. Components having non-bonding electrons on heteroatoms such as oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur and halogen can show N to sigma star transition. These transitions are of lower energy and hence occurs at lower wavelength than sigma to sigma star transitions. For example, N to sigma star transitions in methyl chloride requires absorption of energy at 174 nanometers. N to pi star transitions. These are the transitions in which an electron in a non-bonding atomic orbital is promoted to an anti-bonding pi star orbital components having double bonds between hetero atom. For example, carbon oxygen double bond, carbon sulfur double bond, nitrogen oxygen double bond. Such show these transitions which appear as weak absorption bands. These transitions require only small amount of energy and takes place within the range of ordinary ultraviolet spectrophotometer. However, the intensity of absorption is generally very low. For example, the carbonyl groups of saturated aldehyde or ketones exhibited as absorption of low intensity at about 285 nanometer. Pi to pi star transition, the transition in which a pi electron is excited to an anti-bonding pi star orbitals are called pi to pi star transition. These have relatively high energy requirement than n to pi star transitions, and absorption generally takes place outside the ordinary ultraviolet region for simple molecular consisting isolated unsaturated center, but the intensity of absorption is very high. For example, the pi to pi star transition for simple aldehyde or ketones provide an absorption band of high intensity at about 180 nanometer. For a simple alkene like ethylene, such a transition takes place in still far ultraviolet region. Effect of conjugation. Conjugation of double bond lowers the energy required for the electronic transition. As a result, molecule consisting conjugated systems such as carbon double bond carbon, single bond carbon, double bond carbon, that is ethylene, and this absorb the radiation of longer wavelength than in case of non conjugated system, and absorption bands appear in the ordinary ultraviolet range. For instance, 1,3-butadiene shows lambda max 217 nanometer in contrast to ethylene, which shows lambda max 175 nanometer. To understand the effect of conjugation on lambda max, let us start with ethylene, which is the simplest conjugated alkene. The double bond in ethylene consists of a sigma bond formed by the combination of sp2 hybridized orbital of two carbon atom and a pi bond formed by the combination of unhybridized 2p orbital. Due to the large differences in the energy of pi bonding and pi antibonding molecular orbitals, pi to pi star transition takes place with the absorption of radiation below 200 nanometer. Therefore, these transition occurs only in far ultraviolet regions. In a conjugated system such as 1,3-butadiene, there are two ethylene units in conjugation with each other. Due to conjugation, the pi bonding orbitals of the two ethylene units interact with each other to form two new bonding orbitals, pi 1 and pi 2, of different energies. Similarly, there is formation of two pi orbitals, pi 3 star and pi 4 star, of different energies from the two ethylene units. The energy difference between highest occupied pi molecular orbital and the lowest occupied molecular orbital for 1,3-butadiene less than that it is for ethylene. As the LUMO energy gap become small, the position of energy absorption moves to longer wavelength, which falls within the ordinary ultraviolet region. Transition probability. It is interesting to note that it is not necessary that exposure of a compound of ultraviolet light must always leads to the electronic transition. On the other hand, probability of particular electronic transition, they are of two types, that is allowed transition and forbidden transition. allowed transition. These are the transitions which have Emax 4 raised to power 10 raised to power 4 or more, and the probability of their occurrence is very high. They are generally due to pi to pi star transition. For example, pi to pi star transition on 1,3-butadiene, which shows absorption at 217 nanometer and has Emax 20,900, representing a allowed transition. Therefore, pi to pi star transitions are highly probable. Forbidden transition. These are transitions for which Emax is generally less than 10 raised to power 4. These are usually related to N to pi star transition. For example, N to pi star transitions of a saturated aldehyde or ketone showing weak absorption nearly 290 nanometer and have Emax less than 100 is forbidden transition. Concept of chromophore and oxochromos. Chromophore. The term chromophore was originally used to denote a functional group or some other structural feature, the presentation of which impacts a color to the compound. For example, nitro group is a chromophore since its presence in the compound impact yellow color to the compound. But these always the term chromophore is used in a much broader sense. It is now defined as any group which exhibit absorption of electromagnetic radiation in the visible or ultraviolet region. It may or may not impact any color to the compound. Table 4.1 lists some simple chromophore groups along with their lambda max and Emax and the type of transition involved. Some simple chromophoric groups are shown in this table. Second is oxochrome. An oxochrome is a group which itself does not act as chromophore, but when attached to a chromophore, it shifts the absorption maximum towards longer wavelength along with an increase in the intensity of absorption. Some commonly known oxochromophoric groups are OH, NH2, OR, NHR, and NR2. All oxochromes consist one or more non-bonding pairs of electrons. When an oxochrome attached to the chromophore, it leads to conjugation or helps in exciting conjugation by sharing of non-bonding pair of electron as shown below. Due to conjugation, there is a decrease in energy difference between the ground state and excited state of group. As a result, the absorption shift to longer wavelength. At the same time, there is an increase in the intensity of absorption. For example, when the oxochrome NH2 group is attached to benzene ring, it increases lambda max as well as Emax as shown in the given below. NH2 acts as oxochrome by exciting the conjugation in benzene by the participation of non-bonding pair of electron in conjugation. Similarly, ethoxyl group act as an oxochromic as shown below. Change in position and intensity of absorption. For isolated chromophore group such as carbon double bond carbon and carbon triple bond carbon, absorption occurs in ultraviolet region which cannot be easily studied, but the position of absorption maximum and intensity of absorption can be modified in different ways by some structural changes or change in solvent. These changes are pathochromic effect or red shift, hypochromic effect or blue shift, hyperchromic effect, or next is hypochromic effect. These effects are discussed below. First is bathochromic shift or red shift. It involves the shift of absorption. Second is hypsochromic shift or blue shift. It involves the shift of absorption maximum towards a shorter wavelength. It may be brought about as follows: by removal of conjugation in the system. For example, protonation of aniline causes a blue shift from 280 nanometer to 203 nanometer. It is because anilinium ion thus formed has no lone pair of electrons on nitrogen which are conjugated with benzene ring. Second is by using solvent of higher polarity. Use of solvent of higher polarity can also bring about hypochromic shift. For example, use of solvent of higher probability causes a blue shift in the N to pi star absorption of acetone. Third is hyperchromic effect. This effect involves an increase in the intensity of absorption. It is usually through about by introduction of an oxochrome. For example, introduction of a methyl group in position 2 of pyridine increases Emax from 2750 to 3564 pi to pi star transition. Fourth is hypochromic effect. It involves an increase in intensity of absorption. It is brought about by a group which distorts the geometry of molecule. For example, when a methyl group is introduced in position 2 of a biphenyl, hypochromic effect takes place due to the distortion caused by methyl group. As a result, Emax decreases from 19,000 to 10,250. It may note that bathochromic shift is generally accompanied by hyperchromic effect, while hypochromic shift is accompanied by hypochromic effect. The various kind of absorption and intensity shift has been summed up in figure 4.7. Solvent effect and choice of solvent. First, solvent effect. The solvent used for dissolving a component under examination has a profound effect on the UV spectrum of compound as shown below. Effect on fine structure. As a result of interaction of solvent with solvent molecule, the fine structure of the absorption band is blurred out and a smooth curve is obtained. This smoothing out of the spectrum depresses us of much useful information about complex molecule. The smoothing out effect is more in polar solvent than in non-polar solvent. The fine structure of this spectrum is best observed in vapor phase. Second is effect on the position and intensity of absorption maximum. Changing the polarity of solvent may also lead to change in position and intensity of absorption maximum. Effect on non-polar components. In general, change in polarity of solvent does not cause any significant shift in the spectra of non-polar compounds such as dienes and conjugated hydrocarbons. For example, absorption maximum for non-polar compounds is practically the same in alcohol as well as in hexane. Effect on polar compounds. In case of polar compounds such as alpha, beta, unsaturated carbon compounds, the absorption maximum generally gets shifted with the change in polarity of solvent. It has been observed that such shifts are of two types. First is shift in N to pi star transition. Increase in the polarity of solvent shift N to pi star transition to shorter wavelength. For example, absorption maximum of acetone is at 279 nanometer in hexane, at 270 nanometer in ethanol, and at 264 nanometer in water. This shift towards the shorter wavelength is mainly due to greater stabilization of the group state that the excited state through dipole-dipole interaction, formation of hydrogen bonds, or solvation with the polar solvent. Second is shift in pi to pi star transition. Increase in the polarity of solvent shift pi to pi star transition to longer wavelength. For example, it has been observed that a compound to solution in hexane solution in ethanol generally shows a red shift of about 10 to 20. The shift of pi to pi star absorption towards a longer wavelength is largely due to the greater stabilization of excited state related to ground state through dipole-dipole interaction or solivation. As a result, energy difference between the group state and excited state decreases and the absorption shift towards the larger wavelength. Third is shift in N2 pi sigma star transition. N2 sigma star transition are very sensitive to hydrogen bonding. For example, alcohol and amines form hydrogen bonding with the solvent molecule due to the presence of non-bonding electron on the heteroatoms. As a result, more energy is required for N2 sigma star transition in polar solvent and shift towards lower wavelength take place. To sum up, if a group is more polar in the ground state than in excited state, increasing the polarity of the solvent shift the absorption to shorter wavelength. If a group is more polar in the excited state than in the ground state, increasing the polarity of the solvent shift the absorption to longer wavelength. Choice of solvent. A suitable solvent for ultraviolet spectroscopy should meet the following requirements. It should be transparent in the wavelength region under examination, that is, it should not itself absorb radiation in the region being examined. Second, it should be less polar so that it has minimum interaction with the solute molecule and has no effect on the fine structure of absorption band and the position of absorption bands. Some characteristics absorption bands. Table 4.2 lists the wavelength of maximum absorption and corresponding molar absorptions or extension coefficients for some typical ultraviolet bands of a simple molecule containing different groups. Second is heteroannular dienes. It is a cyclic diene in which double bond in conjugations are present in different ring. These are the example of heteroangular dienes. Third is endocyclic double bond. It is a double bond present in a ring as shown below in A. As shown in this figure, this double bond is present between this ring. Inside this ring, in this B part, the double bond is present outside this ring. Same in the C part. Ring A, in the next D, there are two rings A and B. Ring A has one endocyclic and one exocyclic double bond. Ring B has one endocyclic double bonds only. Fourth is exocyclic double bond. It is a double bond in which one of the doubly bonded atom is a part of a ring system as shown in B. Woodward-Fisher rules for conjugated dienes, trienes, polyenes, etc. According to these rules, each type of diene or triene system has a certain fixed value at which absorption takes place. This consists the basic value or parent value. The contribution made by various alkyl substituent or ring residue, double bond exciting conjugation and polar groups such as CLB or OR are added to the basic value to give lambda max for a particular compound. The parent value and contribution of different substituent or groups are shown in table 4.3. This is the table which shows the parent value and increment for different substituent or groups. 4.14 Woodward-Fisher rules for sigma alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compounds. Woodward-Fisher rules for calculating lambda max for alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compound modified by Scott may be summed up in the table 4.4. This table shows the parent values and increment for different substituent or groups. First, the values are given for alpha beta unsaturated acyclic or 6-membered ring ketone. These are the parent value. Then the increment are given for some of them. In these compounds, the actual spectra obtained are affected considerably by the nature of solvent employed. Therefore, a solvent correction is applied to the calculated value to obtain the value for the parent solvent. However, we are not discussing the solvent correction at this stage. A few examples are given below for the sake of elucidation of above rules. These are the examples, such as example 4.9. Calculate lambda max for the compound. This is the compound given. The given compound is a alpha beta unsaturated acyclic ketone having an alkyl substituent in alpha position. Therefore, parent value for alpha beta unsaturated acyclic ketones, which was in the above table, from there we will write its value is 215 nanometer. One alkyl substituent in alpha position is equal to 10 nanometer. Therefore, calculated value will be 225 nanometer and the observed value is 220 nanometer. Next is example 4.10. Compute lambda max for the compound having the structure. Solution. The given compound is a alpha beta unsaturated 6-membered ring ketone. It has one ring residue at alpha position and 2 at beta position and has double bond exocyclic to 2 rings as shown below. Parent value for alpha beta unsaturated 6-membered cyclic ketone is equal to 215 nanometer. One ring residue at alpha position 10 nanometer. Two ring residue at beta position will equal to 24 nanometer. Double bond exocyclic to 2 rings will equal to 2 into 5 because there are 2 double bonds and for each value is 5 will equal to 10 nanometer. Therefore, calculated value is 259 nanometer and observed value is 256 nanometer. So here our chapter is completed. Thank you.